Good day and welcome back to my channel. Today you are coming along with me and I'm going to show you how to summer-proof your makeup. Because as you know, this girl is an oily girl, and so I have tried every trick in the book to make sure my makeup lasts all damn day. 15 hours while filming. 15 hours while working at 2 different restaurants and working out in between because I don't have time to take my makeup off, work out, shower, and put it on. So here we go. Let's dive right in. Grab your beverage of choice. Today I have the world's giantest coffee. Ah. That's fresh. That shit's fresh. So good. And man, do I need it because I slept for 12 hours last night. I must have needed it. I needed to wake up early for work or acting class over the last couple of days. And I go to bed late because I work late, and I'm getting like 7.5 hours of sleep, which isn't enough for this girl. Sorry if you have insomnia, mom. Apologize. Don't be jealous at me. So let's dive right in. Ignore the nails. They're for my character going on right now. I went to go get nails for the first time, and I'm going to dive right in while I talk. So I've cleansed my face. I've added some serum, and I've moisturized. It seems counterintuitive a little bit to moisturize if you don't want oily skin or to sweat, but it's really important. Your skin will like overact to add moisture to your skin if you don't have moist skin. Crazy, I know. So my first step, obviously we need a sunscreen. A lot of sunscreens right now, people are very into like shiny sunscreen. So like the Supergoop Glow Screen, or my favorite from that is going to be like the e.l.f. Wool Glow. I'll show it to you. I'm pretty sure they only sell this in the States right now. I have not seen it in Canada yet, but this is an excellent dupe for the Supergoop Glow Screen. I think it's actually better. It's more glowy. I don't use this very often because, again, I add enough glow to my face, so I don't need anything. So I use the Cicapair Tiger Grass Color Correcting Treatment. So this is going to absorb oil because it's kind of like charcoal-y. And because it's green, it will combat the natural redness in my face. So I went to go get nails because I'm doing this acting class and it's 5 weeks, and I have this character who is a New York kind of old school alcoholic, drug addict, tramp, and I was like, girlfriend needs nails, girl needs nails, which is just really an excuse for me to go get my nails done because I never do, right? It's like not, I like myself better without nails. And a girlfriend of mine who I work with has the most beautiful, classy, like rounded tip nails. And I was like, oh, I should do that. And I was like, no, that's too classy for my girl. Her name's Veronica Becker. And so I was like, I'll get square tip because this takes place in like early 2000s and square was all the rage. And then I was like, maybe I'll just get red. And I was like, do you know what's even trashier than red? Just red tips. And then I went to acting class yesterday, and the woman who works there, whom I love, whose also name is Veronica, my character's Veronica, her name's Veronica, she was like, it looks like you've been picking scabs. And I was like, oh, that sounds hideous. And now I can't get it out of my mind, so maybe I'm just gonna paint them all red now. I have 2 more weeks with them on, and I'm absolutely loving it. So we're just gonna leave it like that. Okay, so we have on our sunscreen, and oh look, so this is where all my little hair barrettes are. This is in a game like card box for one of Ian's favorite games, and he painted it, and I was like, I want that. I want to put my little hair clippies in it. So I did. I take his like game card thing, and I'm like, let me put makeup in it. All right, we're gonna put our hair back. These beautiful little clippies. Do you like my new necklace? It says Alpha. I specifically ordered it like wrote in, like chose what it says, because I'm obviously an alpha and I think that's super funny. And I got it really high because my work uniform is like a suit and tie, but you can like just, if I like lean down, you can like just see it, and I'm like love it. Okay, so our first step in summer proofing our makeup is making sure we have the right primer. There's only one choice in this, and by one I mean two. So we have a high end and a low end. So the low end is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, and then the high end is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. These are exactly the same. I actually think the e.l.f. one is better. And the price difference on this, like this is probably $10 and this is probably $30. It like, I will never buy this again, ever. I will always buy the e.l.f. one. It's just better. We are going to use the e.l.f. one today just because the e.l.f. one is older. So we want to get rid of our older product. And it is, when you look at this, like it's sticky. She's sticky. And it's going to make your face feel tacky. So it's literally going to hold all of your makeup in place, which is exactly what we want. The trick with both of these primers is that you have to leave it for a second. Like you have to let it do its thing for a moment. You can't put the foundation like immediately on it. You have to give it like a hot second. Okay, so this is gonna dry and we're just gonna go in with, I've been enjoying smaller foundation brushes rather than the big ones because it just helps me be more precise. So I'm not getting excess product in my hairline, which annoys the bejesus out of me. And my favorite long wearing foundation is the Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation. This dries down really quickly, stays phenomenally all day long, and it just looks beautiful. Like it looks like skin. So this is definitely going to be my favorite. Other good long wearing foundations, I have two that I know for sure, and I have one that I'm testing. So Tati Beauty, one of my favorite beauty channels, I'll link her down below. She called me up on the phone and she told me about Revlon Color Stay. So I just bought a darker color because I've tanned again for my character Veronica. And so I bought a darker color. So I've been testing this. I only did it once. So far, so good. And it's for combination oily skin, which is me. And then Infallible is always a really, really good choice. And then obviously the Huda Beauty Faux Filter, which is going to be your top tier, like really, really heavy foundation. So we're going to put some of this Nars on a brush and we're going to go right in. So I had a huge bucket list for summer vacation, and now it's looking like I'm not going to be able to do a lot of it because I'm working a lot and I've actually been getting a lot of auditions. There's a writer's strike going on, and so all of the stuff that's filming is non-union, and I'm non-union. I can be union. I could be union. I have enough credits that I could be in the union, but I think at this point in time in my career, it is more, what's the thing I'm looking for? It is more advantageous to my bank account to not be union because a lot of stuff I get hired for is non-union. So I'm going to keep being non-union for a while until I'm, you know, a little bit more well-known enough that I can, you know, quit my job at the restaurant and just work as an actor. But things have been going well. I have 3 auditions this week, which I'm super excited about. I'm going to be doing one right after this. And it's funny because the audition is for this HR woman, and she's obviously like the villain. And yet I agree with what she's saying about it. Like she's talking to this other coworker about how this third coworker is like being lazy and yada yada yada, and I'm like, yeah. And then I realized like she's the villain. Like it's okay to be lazy in this audition. I don't know exactly what it's for, and nor would I ever say, because I couldn't ever say on this about what I'm doing. But I was just like, oh, am I the villain? Is that me? That I'll see if I can find that like meme or sound and throw it in here because it's so funny. It's like, I'm sure you guys have heard it. Am I the villain? So funny.
Am I the villain? I don't think I'm the villain.
And I'll be doing that audition after this, but my summer bucket list of like, I think number one on it was go to the Cultus Lake water slides. And I'm too busy. I'm too busy with class and with, like, I've reinvigorated my kind of commitment to my personal growth a little bit. So I've started writing again and meditating more often and working out harder. And it's another really good thing about this acting class is our teacher's super disciplined, which I love. Like he's such like a badass, and he like has this really strong willpower, and that's something that like I really connect with. And so hearing about like, you know, all of the things that he's doing discipline wise, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that, let's do that, which is great. It's a great thing for me. So all right, so I have like one layer of this Nars Soft Matte Focus Foundation, and it looks beautiful. Like it is a stunning foundation. And then we are going to conceal. Listen to my voice. I've been fighting off a cold all damn week. Everyone at my work is goddamn sick, and I'm like, no, stay away from me. But yeah, I've been sick as well, but just fucking fighting it off. I've refused to let it. Okay, do you know what? Enough with these foundation lips. We are going to pop on some of my favorite lip thing ever. LANEIGE Lip Sleeping Mask. I'm sure you've heard me talk about it 100 million times. It is my favorite. And we do not want these foundation lips. When I'm editing, I'm like, oh, Laura, put on some lip gloss. So I'm just listening to my future self here. My strongest, most long-lasting concealer is the Kat Von D. I don't even know what this is called. Lightweight full coverage concealer. God, that's like typical, right? So this is really heavy, super thick, long-lasting, but it is not my color right now. That's probably one of my lightest concealers, and I have tanner on, so I'm going to go in with my Milk Makeup, which is still pretty light for me right now, but it's going to be a lot better. This is the 6C. And we're just going to, a lot of the time, I'll take concealer like down here or here or here. We are not going to do that today. We are just going to keep it where, like under the eyes where we need to conceal, because we want to keep our color where it is. You know what I mean? Which you should, because you probably do makeup. I was at class yesterday, and one of the girls in class who I really like, I show up in class like full makeup because of my character. And after relaxation and like presents and doing my scene, like I'd cried, there was makeup everywhere, it was like so shitty, and one of the girls was like, who did your makeup? And I was like, I did. She was like, oh, it looks great. I'm like, well, it did look great at like 8 o'clock this morning, but I had to go to Superstore after class yesterday, and I had to wear sunglasses in Superstore because there was just like raccoon eyes from freaking crying the entire time. So funny. I love this concealer. It is one of my favorite concealers. It blends like a gosh darn dream. It looks so good. Oh shoot, I should put in contacts. I don't have contacts in. The other day I put in contacts after makeup and I like teared up and I ruined my makeup right here, and it just, nothing makes me madder than just like, so I should probably actually go put contacts in. Especially before powder. Oh my god, put contacts in before powder. Because once you powder, you are fucked. Okay, I'm going to go do that. I'm going to put contacts in. Contacts in, no big issues. Time for coffee. I didn't have any cream and I had to use almond milk. And I was like, ugh, this is going to suck. And it's actually quite good. Which is a rarity because I don't like it. Look at this adorable, it's a romper, like they're shorts. Isn't it the cutest freaking outfit? It's from Amazon. I'll link it below. So cute. Guys, I have the best clothes. I really do. I really do. Yeah, there's like one tear right here and it'll break apart that concealer. God, that annoys me. Oh, that annoys me so much. It's like my eyes, if they like run, if they weep, if they tear at all, it like breaks apart my concealer. So I've had makeup on and I'm like, I'm not crying right now. I can't cry for any reason because it'll ruin my freaking makeup. So we're gonna let that sit for a second. Now, because I'm so tanned, I'm gonna use my darkest cream bronzer, which is my Huda Beauty, which is actually one of my favorites, but it's like the darkest. So I'm gonna go in with my Real Techniques contouring, and I'm gonna use this end, and we're just gonna do the jawline. Make sure she looks snatched. Do people still say snatched? I was watching a YouTube video today of like a Gen Z talking to like a probably millennial about like words that like the language that Gen Z used. And I knew all of them because I work with freaking tons of Gen Z. But they were like cap, no cap, which makes no sense to me. Like cap is a lie, so no cap is the truth. Like it's just, where did these freaking come from? And the Gen Z girl in the video was like, yeah, that's like on its way out. And I was like, really? I thought it like just started. So if you really, 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 really want to fully summerproof your makeup, you are going to set all of your cream products with powder, which is what we're going to do today. So we have our contour essentially right now. And then we're going to go in with our favorite cream product brushes. These are the e.l.f. Putty Primer brushes, which is weird because why would you have a brush for a primer? Like just use your hands. I have one for blush. I have one for bronzer. We gonna go in. Oh, I'm going to do this concealer. Now, because I am doing an audition after this and I'm gonna have some huge hot lights on me, I don't feel the need to like look super natural with this bronzer. Like it actually looks better because with my audition, I'll film it in like 1080p. Like I filmed this in 4K and I usually post most of my YouTube videos in 4K because why wouldn't I? I have the technology. Where's that from? We have the technology. I'm gonna find out. And but all of my auditions are in like 1080p, and so the quality is not there. So you want to be able to see my face and my facial expressions. So I usually go pretty hard on my like contour bronzing so that you can see like my face clearly. They can see like the shape of my face. You know what I mean. Okay, blush. My most long-lasting cream product is going to be Rare Beauty, so we're gonna go in. Now, Rare Beauty, literally a dot. Literally a dot, like no more than that. I'm sure if you have Rare Beauty, you know that, but very importante because it's so strong. Now, if you don't need this to last all day, I would not powder. I would just spray your face because this looks absolutely gorgeous when you powder. The way that I'm going to powder, especially if you have texture, it will accentuate your texture a little bit. So it's like you win some, you lose some a little bit. So my skin in person looks absolutely flawless right now. After I summer heat proof my face, for the first hour or two, it's gonna look a little heavy because there's a layer of powder on. So if you're not oily, like just a light dusting of like a clarifying Wet n Wild Charlotte Tilbury finishing powder, we gonna go in heavy with the powder because we need this shit to last all day. Okay, so my super stay powder trick is completely opposite to the way I've done my makeup for years. So I take a really wet setting spray and I'm going to douse my entire face. We're going to take 2 different beauty sponges, a big one for the face and a small one for under eyes, and we are going to coat the face in powder. Watch and see, I will show you, don't be afraid. Okay, going in. Doused. Then we're going to go right in with my Fit Me powder. We're going to get lots in there. And we're going to do a heavy layer. Heavy layer of powder. And this shit is going to last all damn day. Now we want to go in fast to utilize that wet setting powder. And then we're going to use the Huda for underneath the eyes to set this. See that? It just set. It just set. Now I usually stay away from my cheeks. So like my bronzer, my contour, my blush. Because we're going to put some powder, bronzer, and blush on top of that. And that will stay because we don't want to lessen the color that we've already laid down. Okay, so we're gonna put this on and we're gonna let this bake. We're gonna push this into the skin. Push. We just need to make sure we dust it off later. So that is what I just did is the key to having your makeup last all damn day. And it seems weird and it's heavy because it definitely looks like heavier than it just did. And you can tell in person that there is powder on my face. But after an hour or 2, your natural oils are going to come through and you're going to start to look like a really natural satin finish on your face. Okay, we're going to go in with like a little bit of a fluffier brush. I do like a thinner fluffy brush like this to go over top of our bronzer and contour just to set that in place and make sure the color stays. So I'm using the Patrick Ta She's So LA. This is an amazing bronzer. This has a cream and a powder. We're just going to use the powder. We don't want to put a cream over top of our powder already. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it does not. The One Size Attention Seeker is supposed to be meant for the cream to go over the powder, but that is the only cream powder duo that I've ever seen advertised as the cream can go over the powder. So just to keep it safe, unless you're like dicking around and playing with it or really know what you're doing, powder on top of cream, not the opposite. So we are just setting our bronzer contour here. Okay, we're going to go back into the hairline. Especially if you have like a larger forehead, this is perfect to create shape and depth to your face, to bring more attention to your eyes or your lips. Because if you have a high head and it's white up here, people are going to be looking up here. But if you darken here, the attention's going to go more to your eyes or your mouth. Okay, to top up our blush, I'm going to use the Nars Orgasm. And it does have a nice little shimmer to it. So we're not going to be using a highlighter today. Again, because I'm wearing this all day and I'm doing an audition, we going ham. We gonna go in for it. Gorgeous, darling. Gorgeous. Love it. Stunning. Stunning. Alrighty. So what's on your guys' summer bucket list? I think now that class has taken priority for me, other things have taken a back seat, right? So, because what was most important to me like last summer and like at the beginning of this summer is like a pool, going to the pool, going to the lake, and now I'm like, shit, bitch, got more important things to do. Don't get me wrong, you will see me at the pool, you will see me at the lake, but probably less often than I would have been. Okay, so what we just did is the most important part of our staying all day. So the eyes, powder is going to be more your friend than cream products because they won't crease, they're going to stay. Some sort of lacquer for your eyebrows. Today I'm going to use the e.l.f. Wow Brow. Very good waterproof eyeliner. So my Makeup by Mario is the only one that I'm going to use. I'm going to, in my waterline, put like a little white, and then I refuse to use waterproof mascara unless I have to, for class, for acting, for whatever. So I will use my favorite mascara of all time. It's a brand new tube of Lash Princess Essence False Lash Effect Mascara. The green one's my favorite. And then for eyeshadow today, I'm going to be doing my villain eyeshadow. So I have like different types of looks for my auditions. And usually for my villain makeup, because my character today is the villain, I would do like a darker gray contour because it looks darker. Like it'll make you look a little more ashy, like darker, like a darker personality. So we're going to be using like a gray. This is from the Sephora. It's called Chou de la Creme. And we're just going to be using our Modern Renaissance palette. And we're going to be using the Bon Fresco. And this is going to create kind of like a darker look, like rather than like a cooler look rather than a warmer look. Like my skin tone lends itself out to cooler makeup. So this is very much like older Hollywood, darker. See how that's like not a black, but like a dark, like not warm. So that lends itself to being the villain, which is what we are today in our audition. And we like that because those are always fun characters to play. Ian, my boyfriend, loves playing the villain. They're his favorite characters. And I use that term loosely, right? You know, like you can't characterize a lot of characters just like that. That looks good. Like it's pretty, but I mean people who are just gonna look at this, like casting directors or stuff, who don't pay attention to the makeup, they won't understand what I've done to kind of subconsciously make myself portray it a certain way with just my makeup. And I do this all the time in auditions, and I love it. Actually, it works. You know, like if you're a housewife, or if you're a kindergarten teacher, or like if you're doing, you know, for my Ford commercial, which just came out. I'm so excited. My Ford commercial just came out. I haven't been able to talk about it, and it's out. So very, very excited. But like for those auditions, like, you know, the Ford commercial, super light makeup, just really clear skin, a wash of mascara, and like that's it. So this is pretty much all of the makeup I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little bit underneath with the gray. So just underneath the waterline right here. Perfect, to just define our eyes. And then we're going to brush off our bake. I like to use like the biggest, fluffiest down brush I possibly can. This is the number 80 from Sephora. And I like to brush off our bake before we do mascara or eyebrows, because then none of those like powder particles are gonna get into your wet products. I'm gonna go in with my Milani light brown pencil for my eyebrows. And again, just to subtly, subconsciously send vibes for my audition, I'm going to do a little bit of a darker eyebrow because villains got dark eyebrows, guys. Archetypes, right? Did you hear about Meghan Markle's Spotify podcast going under? Like, they paid her $20 million for 12 episodes, and she couldn't even fulfill the 12 episodes. And apparently she didn't even interview the famous people. She got producers to do it, and they canceled her podcast. Like, that's crazy. Can you imagine, like, getting paid $20 million and then not being able to fulfill your contract of doing 12 episodes? 12. And if you ever listen to that, like, it sounds like she's an actress, right? So it sounds like she's acting. Like, it doesn't sound like a natural podcast, like just chitty-chatting. It sounds like a voice actor being like, and when I was a young girl, I remember this one time doing this one thing, and then that changed my life forever. Check it out. I wonder if I can put that kind of stuff on. Like, other people put that kind of stuff on their YouTube. Maybe I'll give that a go. So funny, the one and only lip liner product that I recommend for Summerproof Makeup is also the lip liner that I want to use for my villain. This is the REFY, and what is it called? Lip Sculpt. This is in taupe. There's also a blush one. Taupe is good for me to use today because it's going to be a darker color. But it comes with like the actual lip liner and then the setting product underneath, and it'll last all damn day, guys. So it's just like a cream. Great, so the cream's on. We're gonna let that dry. And then after that's done, we're gonna like, just because it kind of whitens, so we're gonna like rub it in a little bit to make sure it's set. I'm gonna put a lip chap down, and then I'm going to put a lipstick and some gloss over top. So the lipstick I'm gonna use is my dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, and it is Revlon, I believe. Yeah, so it is the Revlon number 3 matte in Pick Me Up. So we're gonna put this down, and then we're gonna put the Dior gloss over top for our audition, but we're gonna do that last. And then I'm gonna put on, just on my upper waterline, the Makeup by Mario. This is gonna take me a second, so I'm gonna pause you guys. Okay, so I did my eyeliner and my mascara. Looking good. So my final moves, we are going to take our beauty blender and just tap all of our makeup back into the skin. Soak it up. Make sure everything's on there. And then I'm going to put on my Revlon Pick Me Up. You can hear Ian with the cat, so cute. Gorgeous. And then a little bit of gloss. Actually, before that, Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. So we used the first setting spray to put the powder on, and then this is going to melt everything else into the skin, into each other. And then we have the gloss. This lip should stay all day. This foundation will definitely stay all day. And that is how we summer-proof our makeup. Thank you so very much for joining us today. Please check out some of my other videos. Subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, put a comment down below. And thanks for spending some time with me, guys. I hope you have an awesome summer, checking off those summer to-dos. And we'll see you next time. Take care. Be well. Bye.